everybody, welcome back to Hougan La Rouge Mystic Channel. This is Hougan Chris, Bon Hougan, Zétoile Filet. Today is the second part of the diamond suit. I hope you enjoyed the last video on the introduction of the diamonds and what diamonds represent, both in English and basically around the world and also in Haiti. This suit not only deals with finances and stuff like that, but it also talks about our body and how we react to certain things, almost like electricity, you know, our blood flowing and so forth and so on. So sometimes when you're reading a card and then you see that the card's coming up with spades and diamonds and stuff like that, you tend to be able to understand that there is there's a balance that's kind of off with that individual, okay, whether it be their money problems or it could even be health problems. But like I always tell everybody, I don't care how good you are at readings and stuff, never diagnose your patients, okay? Don't ever do that. Send them right to a professional. If you see that there's a lot of spades that require them to be sick and it has nothing to do with mystically, send them to a primary physician. Same thing if a young girl asks you if she's pregnant, okay? If you're not in full possession and you're doing the reading, do not give that girl, tell her no or yes that she's pregnant. Send her to the clinic and let her go from there. Because I'm going to tell you, if you start taking on these type of questions, these type of responsibilities, it's not going to end just with one person. It's going to go on and on and on and on. And you might not even be telling the truth after a while. Because like I said earlier in my other videos, we are not here to predict your future. We're not God. We're not saints. Nothing. So when you go ahead into that line or into your row where it says future, make sure you don't say, this is what I see for you that's exactly going to happen in the future. Tell them, for what I can see right now, this is what you can look forward to. Don't ever say that the future this, the future that, because you do not know if that's 100% true. Okay? Because life changes all the time. Leave that in the Creator's hands, not in yours. Don't take on that responsibility, because I'm telling you, you don't know who you're reading for. They will have no problems coming back and tapping that ass for lying to them. Okay? So do you. You're not missing out by telling the truth. Okay? And go from there. Alright, let's get back to the diamond suits. And let's start off with 7, like I said. 7 is that card where it talks about arguments, deceit, unreliable, things like this. But now, the thing is, it's happened in the work environment, okay? Because you have a couple of people at work that's either jealous or envious of your position. Let's say, for instance, you work at a car dealership, or you work for a company that requires you to get paid by commission. That's going to cause some problems with people at the job, especially if they're getting none. That's just the reality of it. Sometimes you have to really question, is somebody happy for you? They say they are, but are they really? Okay? So that's when you need to tend to the 7 of spades, 7 of diamonds, and figure out if that's what it's about. Okay? So on my cheat sheet, I wrote here, arguments concerning finances on the job. You understand what I'm saying to you? So always, when I'm breaking it down for you, is when I'm trying to use the common sense part of it. Because I noticed that for me, I had to write my own notes. Okay? In my big old red book here that I have. I had to write the words and how I can translate them better. You understand what I'm saying? Or how I can understand it better. Because sometimes those books, or even your godparents, they're not 100% accurate, or they don't know it 100% with their clear eyes. And that's a problem. But I remember this one Mumbu, her name is Mumbu Mai, who taught me a lot as well. And she said, Chris, whatever you do, always learn those eyes with your clear eyes. Okay? Not depending on the spirits. Because sometimes you never know where you're going. And somebody may ask you for a reading. You can't call the spirit in everybody else's house. You didn't walk with your ason or all this other stuff that's required for you to call the loi. So you can't do that. So just give them what it is that they need and you go from there. Whether you agree or disagree with my meanings, it's up to you. Once again, I hope everybody got their little pencils and papers and you got your white candle. You see? Even during the day, in the afternoon, in a room, plenty of light. I always like my little white candle. It's really not for me. It's for them. Okay? It's for Jewish and it's for Ogu. So in case that, she needs to tell me something or come and give me a hand on a certain card, then she's available to come. Because you got to remember, they're on the other side. They need light. Okay, in order to go forward with you. Remember when I was telling you about numerology and how we use the numbers and the meanings together and they stand for something? Number 7, remember, it's our spiritual number. Okay, but now we're getting ready to go up. And you know what happens when we start getting ready to go up? Not only that it gets more difficult, but it also leads to the sign of completion. Okay, so now we are 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds is, once again, it starts out from 7 and leads into 8. Because now your finances are up and down. You don't understand how you went from $2,000 a month to now to $900 or $500. Okay? Something went wrong. You went around and you did something you had no business to do, or you blew it on something you had no business blowing it. Okay? And also it talks about getting married also late in life. This is not, sometimes some people, they think that, oh, I'm 50 or I'm 60, how am I ever going to meet somebody like that? It happens every day. And they go right on the cruises and they do all kinds of stuff. Go to different countries. They do. You can find love at whatever age you're in. Okay, so never turn that down. Okay, like I said here, new job, change in job situations, may find love on a trip. Okay, if 7 didn't work out for you, where of the arguments or the drama at the job, you choose in number 8 to go find yourself another job. Is it paying the same? No. Is it more money? It can be, yes. But in the same token, let that go. Let your heart be open. Because when you have an open heart, you allow others to get in that may have your best interests at heart. Okay? Now, number 9. We're getting close to the end. Okay? That's that number like I told you about all the other ones. We're wrapping things up. Okay? We got a new business deal. So whatever we did in 8, it led to a new business deal. You understand what I'm saying? Things are looking up for the best. You're finishing up on bills or certain things that you had, down the line before. And you're getting ready for a fresh start. And the 9 is telling us that. Okay? So as long as there's no bad neighbors on either side, that's exactly what we're gonna get. Also, it could be a move. Because of all the problems that happened in 7 and 8, you were like, you know what? Let me get away. I need to get away. I need a fresh new start. So the fact that you got that new job, it can be out of the area that you were in and it requires you to change residence. Or you may just want to change residence because you're just tired of the old place you're living in. So on your piece of paper, make sure you put new job, no more restlessness, and you need a change of location. Okay? Now, we're at 10. Everything is all done. Okay? You got, it's almost like how they say 1 plus 0 equals 1. So we back to number 1, which what the ace mean. Now it's 10. We did everything we had to do. We got that little new business, or we got that new job. You know what I'm saying? We see our financial situation is getting better as long as it's not around negative cards. As long as it's not upside down, you got yourself a new job. Either you pursued a different career, or you ready to take one of those trips that you've been wanting to take, but you had to put it off because you didn't have no fun. Also, a change in residence. You needed to move. Sometimes we need to move because we need to let that past go. And these are one of those times when you need to do that. Okay? Once again, if there's any questions from the 7 through the 10, email me, contact me, and I'll be more than likely to go over with it to you in a little bit more detail than I did on here. But I'm pretty sure I was very clear as to what each of them meant. Okay? Now, we're going to go to our people card. Haha. Okay? Here goes our Jack, which is our Virgo. Here goes our Queen, which is our Taurus. And here goes our N, which is our Capricorn. Okay? Let me tell you about these people. Alright? Let me see if I put anything down for them. Because usually I don't. But let me just check. Because with my books right here that I have, because I want to make sure I don't just judge. I want to make sure I got what I wrote down, exactly what I wrote down. Okay? For you guys. Okay, let's start off with the Jack. The Jack of Diamonds, okay? Before I was under 35 years old, I was personally the Jack of Diamonds. That used to be my card that they used to read about me. When I used to get readings from my spiritual godmother and stuff like that, I used to be the Jack of Diamonds. Now, she didn't use the Jack of Diamond because I'm an earth sign. She used the Jack of Diamond because of the personality and the fire that I brought. You know what I'm saying? With my attitude and all this other kind of stuff. And this is what he is. Even though he's an earth sign, but he's a young soldier. He can handle his own. Okay? Now, just like other young Jacks, notice I said before I was under 35, he was mature, we got older, okay? Especially through our experiences with different situations that may also include people who may have been a part of our life then. So that can mean that I changed decisions, friends, families, values, the way I make choices after I reach 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Okay? So now, the Jack is stuff. He is very friendly. He's extroverted. Okay? He's out there. He's doing him. Okay? He's very mature for his age. He will defend you at all costs. Okay? One thing about Virgos, for sure, I would tell you, they go after what they want. They will. They have to keep going on the move. They always need some type of entertainment to fill that void sometimes so that they don't think about what's going on within themselves. I know them because I used to be with one and I had a friend that was one. Okay? And one thing is, another thing too is they love their money. Okay? They love their money. Don't mess with their money. Okay? Sometimes they're responsible. It all depends on the age and the person. They can be responsible or they can be irresponsible with it. It's all up to the individual. Because you got to remember, just because these signs, they say that that's what you are and what you're capable of, doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. Okay? He could be very bossy as well. Okay? But he also has a side of him that is very spiritual. He takes that very serious. Okay? And like I said to you about all my other Jacks as well, my Jacks start from baby to 35 years old. And then from 35 to up, you're a king and a queen. Okay? Another reader may say, look, I don't use it like that. I use it by the sign or the color of the person or the age of the person, but it is a young person. Let's talk about the Queen, which is a Taurus. I had an aunt who was a Taurus. Okay? That's how I know these people. They're very, very secretive. They're very secretive. It's very rare that they will sit down and they will tell you personal things about them. Okay? One thing is, though, they will defend you at all costs. It doesn't matter what is going on, what you did. What they'll usually do is corner you. And they'll tell you, look, what's going on? What's really going on with you? All right, I got you this time, but the next time, you on your own. Okay? They're very people that's up to point with their money. Okay? They budget very well. Okay? They're also caring. They can be caring. Okay? But their temper, don't let them be passive aggressive on you, because that's the worst when they're passive aggressive. It's always best to have somebody either passive towards you or aggressive, not both in the same time. Because that's like telling somebody to say, you know what, fuck you, but let's keep it going. It's like, no, it's either F you or not. But with them, they have a way of doing it passive aggressively. And personally, that doesn't work for me. And most of the fire signs don't appreciate it at all. Because we're direct people. That's what we want. So that queen also, she's very, very, very business. This is the person that you go to. She's sitting at the bank. She's in charge of loans. She's in charge of finances. She's in charge of mortgages. She's also the leader or the branch manager. That's how good she is at her job. She's very efficient. So that's another thing you need to look out too. If a client comes to you, she tells you that she's a banker or whatever the case may be, a position of authority, boom, go ahead and set her as the queen of diamond. If that's how you do your readings. Me, I don't do it like that. I look for the person that I'm reading for. Because that person, when they come to read, their thoughts may not be at the present time. This is what a lot of readers don't understand. And they make that mistake. Sometimes you get somebody who comes to you, they're still living in the past. Or they're looking towards their future. Or they could be at the present time. It all depends where that card shows up. And you as the reader got to be able to figure it out. Whichever way you cut the cards. Are you cutting the cards on their birthday? Are you cutting the cards on their racial, black or white? Or the color of their hair? It all depends on what you're doing. I don't do mine like that. I do mine on birthday. So I can know exactly who I'm talking about and what's going on. Now, in the voodoo, the Jack of Diamonds is Saint Jacques de Manière. Okay? These are your young ogus. This is your Ogu Rouge, Ogu Yemson, Ogu Balabala, Ogu de Manière, Ogu Ferraille, Ogu Fe. All those ogus, okay, is those young ogus. The Queen of Diamond in voodoo, she is Mambo la Sirène. She's a maîtresse. Now, she may not just be la Sirène. It all depends on what she follows. She can be maîtresse Lovana, Clémenzine, Séverine Pierre, all those. But remember, how we do in the voodoo religion is once you have one spirit, she or he comes with the family. So if you just say, okay, I see Mambo la Sirène. Mambo la Sirène, she has sisters after sisters after sisters. Okay? That's what happens when you get the Jack of Diamonds. If you got that Jack of Diamonds, he may be Ferraille, but Ferraille comes with a family. They call it escort. But think about escort. Think of it in, if you break it down in English, escort. Okay? That means to accompany with someone. So, they bring the whole gang with them. That's why there's no such thing as when they tell you, Al ramase loyal, meaning go pick up your spirits. They don't mean just go pick up one. You got to pick one and then the brother or the sister or who they come with. It doesn't necessarily mean if they come with 3 or 4 people, you have to make 3 or 4 cups of coffee. Whenever you make a coffee or you're doing a party or whatever that, you're doing it for all of them. Okay? It's not just for one. Boom. Now we get to our king. Okay? Our king is not too far from the queen. Okay? The king is the Capricorn. Okay? These people are very... I'm not going to try to compare him as the Ogu yet, because I don't want to, because everybody already knows that Saint Jack and all those other spirits, they're very fiery, they're hot. Let me tell you what he is in just a regular reading. He's an authoritative figure. He's a police officer. He's a security guard. He's somebody who takes charge and pride in what he does. Okay? He's some type of soldier, a commander, somebody in charge of a higher station. Okay? Now, if we want to get into his temper, I think that's the last person that you really want to go there with. Okay? Because he's forgiving, but that forgiving is never forgotten. There's some people that say, I'll forgive you, I'll leave it alone. But some of them don't really mean that, because they still remember. With him, he reminds you that, look, I know where your bullshit's coming from. Okay? So don't go there with me. Now, he can also be the manager of finances. Okay? The one that you go to get the loan for the house, to get the appraisal, whatever it is that's going on that has to do with finances. Because remember, he's the owner of Earth. That's the owner of the North. He's also Earth signs, which paper money, coins, all this other stuff like that. All that goes with him. Remember when I told you guys before, please just don't go on the account of what I'm saying. Always, how you say that again? Get a second opinion when you're learning how to read cards, or when you read cards. If you want to take my meanings and stuff like that, and you can see the genuine and all that stuff with the type of person that I am through film, then by all means do it. Because I'm not in the business of misleading anybody. I love what I do. I love to teach. And especially, I don't know who's watching this. The last thing I want to come off is as somebody who's just a scandalous entrepreneur. Okay? So, now let's talk about his position in the voodoo. Okay? King of Diamond is a soldier. Okay, he's all the older Ogus. Okay, Bako Swalade, Ogu Batagi, Saint Jacques de Magia, not de Manière, which is the young one, the old one, the major. You see, Saint Jacques de Magia. That means Saint Jack the Major. Okay, you got Ogu, you got Shango, you got Oku Bako Swalade. You got all those adult Ogus. Okay? There's some Ogus that are Ogu Jerouge. You know what I'm saying? Once again, if somebody comes to me and we're doing a reading and it's based on your spirituality, if this card comes up right underneath his sun, right here, I know for sure, like this, that you have a lot of Ogus walking with you. Okay? A lot of them. There's no denying this. And if there's a Mumble or Hougan that's watching this right now, if you don't know this, then email me or make a comment on my thing and say that's bullshit. Because that's not the case here. That's one thing about me. You can't knock me off my game. Because I've been doing it too long. Okay? You may be able to scare me when somebody's telling me that somebody's jacking up with my Jerouge, but you're not. When it comes to this stuff, I know this in my sleep. Let it come like this. This person has a lot of Ogus with them. Okay? So which means when it's time to do your lavitet or whatever, more than likely, if this card comes out, he's probably going to be a metet. Now, don't think because you're sensitive or you're soft-spoken or whatever, you don't understand how Ogu can be a metet. It don't go like that. Because I have somebody that I know who's very passive, who has a daughter as his met tech. Okay? So that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. But as far as King is concerned, that's your Ogu. That's your oldest Ogu. Okay? Now, we finished the suit of diamonds. We're in the process of uploading the videos, editing them, and once again, like I tell you, I'm not going to know how you feel about my videos unless you subscribe. Or give me a like or give me a comment. I don't care what you write. Everybody is entitled to opinion. You may say, look, I wasn't taught that way. But evidently the way you're doing it, it works. But if that's how you feel and stuff like that, just watch the video. Don't be negative. See, the thing about our community sometimes, and I'm talking to the Haitian community at times. I'm not talking about to any other community because I've only experienced with them. They don't care how good you are at something. The fact of the matter is they want to know where you got it from. None of your goddamn business. Just enjoy the video. You don't need to know who consoled me. You don't need to know where I consoled. Just take the lesson and move on. Why does it always have to be more to it? I'm giving you more. There's most people that won't come on film and talk about personal things like this. I'm giving it to you. You know why? Because you can't take it from me. Because it's here. That's the difference. You can't take it away. Because it's already here. I feel it. I get goosebumps just telling the audience about it. I don't even have to tell you of me going into an element where that's nothing but present is spirits. So I'm not a show-off. I'm not a know-it-all. But when it comes to this part, trust me, I spent enough time killing myself learning it. You're not going to take that joy away. You won't. Okay, so now we all know about this coronavirus thing. Okay? A hot mess. Okay, so what do? Like they say, stay away from people. If you find yourself, okay, working, doing readings and stuff like that, I suggest that what you do is, because some people, this is how they make their money. I suggest you get yourself a box of gloves, okay, next to you. Give it to the client. You take one, okay, for you. And even if it's hard to handle with the cards, go ahead and do the best that you can. Because you don't want to catch the virus, and nor do you want it on your cards. Okay? Because it's very easy for somebody to go like this. Without knowing. Because they're so into the reading. Get your ass some hand sanitizer. If I seen a client do that, I would be like, woohoo, sanitize. But I just did. Sanitize it again. My cards will be sanitized, okay? You can't convince me otherwise. Because guess what? I'm not going to be in the hospital with the COVID-19. Absolutely not, okay? But we're out again. Remember, this is Hougan Chris from Au Dans La Rouge Mystic channel. And I want everybody to be safe, be careful, take care of yourself. And I think by now we're up to spades, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? But also check out the video where I'm talking about before you go initiate, the steps that you need to take. Okay? There's a video out there. You're going to see part 1 of diamonds. You're going to see part 2 of diamonds. I made everything so that they're not as long as they used to be, okay? But take your book out. Take your pencils and papers. Write it down. Even if you want to write it down and you want to go take it to your godmother, your godfather, and say, look, this guy said A, B, C, D thing. One thing about Mumbos and Hougas, they always want to be the ones to say, oh, that's not how we do it in our house. In our house, we do it this way. In our house, it means this. Guess what? When it's time for you to do the cards for the clients, they don't care what house, what society, what society you come from, or who initiated you. They want to know the truth of what the cards say. And the cards, they don't change. Okay, so all of those out there who want to say, oh, I laid down at this peristyle, or I come from this side of Haiti, and we don't do it on this side, and we don't do that. Baloney. Conzo is conzo. Doing cards is doing cards. Okay? Unless you want to do it the old school way with the 32 cards. That can be done. I could do 32 cards as well too. But when you add the lower, the base, which is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it fills in those holes. And it makes your mathematics less difficult. Okay? Well, I'll see you guys soon. Get ready to get your notebooks out for spades next video. And take care of yourself. I'm out of here. Hougan Chris. Aïe Bobo Javoda.